everyone, and welcome back to Winnow, your weekly Universal news and updates. I go over everything that's happened in Universal Studios Orlando each week, so you can be informed for your next day, or just if you're interested in the parks. But let's not continue on with an intro, and start the video off with my first topic. Construction, a topic that is just feeding my VelociCoaster obsession. So, starting us off, the coaster's height requirement was put at the entrance of the park, and is estimated to be around 51 inches. Just to clarify, this is the VelociCoaster height requirement, as you can probably tell from the screen, but just want to say that 51 inches about a little bit shorter than the height requirement for Hulk, I believe, but it is still up there, so just be ready for that. Also, paid lockers were built into the lower floor of the Jurassic Park Discovery Center. These replaced the walled-off interactive dinosaur fact and bone search in that area. Later in the week, they would be decorated with decals for the VelociCoaster, along with some lights. These are the VelociCoaster lockers, as you can probably tell. These are paid lockers, not the free lockers that you can get around the park. And we didn't have any story like we have with the Forbidden Journey lockers, which I believe took over 2 months to be constructed. However, they are here now, and those interactive features are gone, so just be prepared for that. Also, a new VelociCoaster music loop was played, which I'm not gonna rant on about. I think it's good music, but you can go ahead and listen to it here. Also, during nighttime, testing was seen with a spotlight that follows the train. This is something I don't know if I've ever seen on a roller coaster before, and I think it is super cool. The fact that they have, well, I don't think it tracks it, but they have a spotlight that follows the train everywhere it goes, so you can see it as it goes by, even though this is already amazingly lit up. I just think this is very creative and just awesome. Also, more rollback testing happened on the VelociCoaster. This is more testing if the launch does not work, and shows it actually launching the train backwards to get it back to the second launch. They are very prepared for this coaster. But the testing doesn't stop there. They also tested this week with multiple trains, which I believe we saw a week or two ago, and this is nothing new, but it's interesting to see that they're testing more frequently with everything, which is cool to see. And also for testing, mist was tested at the VelociCoaster launch. This is probably a theming aspect towards the ride, but it's amazing to see that we're into the steps where mist is being tested, because this shows how close we are, and realistically, we are very close to summer of 2021, so I am so excited for this ride. Also for this coaster, some palm trees were removed from the waterfront to out by the streets. However, they would be put back. Not all in the same place though. Also, palm fronds were added to the top of the VelociCoaster. Also, a small detail was seen that I'm not sure if it's new, but an advisory sign was added to the entrance of the VelociCoaster. Yet again, not sure if this is new, but this is my first time ever seeing this camera angle, so maybe it was there for a while, maybe it's not. It is there though. Onto just the building, vague paint was added to some of the bone details on the side of the Discovery Center. This will probably be painted back over so that it looks better, and this is just our base layer of paint because this is the color of the paint that goes behind the bones. So this will be detailed soon. Also, the sign for the watering hole was taken down and was replaced by a temporary sign. Don't know if this has to do with repainting or maintenance. They did this with Jurassic Outfitter a week or two ago. I know I'm saying a ton of stuff happened a week or two ago, but this all applies to previous videos. They took the sign down, so they're probably doing refurbishments on this sign too to pretty it up for the VelociCoaster. Finally, the Jurassic Park car and some tables and chairs were removed from the path by the bypass bridge. This is to open the area up more, and I can tell you from experience this is a much more open area now. So this is gone, but there wasn't any dinosaur or anything with it. It was just an original Jurassic Park tour vehicle. I don't really think they're going to permanently get rid of this, but they might have. You never really know. Back to the visitor center, we can see that the sign was repainted, showing us that the visitor center is just getting refurbishment, probably, like I said, for the watering hole to get all prettied up for when the VelociCoaster opens this summer. Out of Isla Nublar, the fireball effect has been added back in Spider-Man. This has a history, and not just recently, like over years of being on and off and on and off. So it's back, it's fiery than hopefully ever, it looks cool, and yeah, it's back. Also, a huge one, Ripsaw Falls reopened, and it looks a ton brighter. This probably has to do with some repainting, and other than this, I cannot see a ton that has changed. However, that is not to say that a lot hasn't changed. Technical parts of rides like these can be things that you don't realize need so much maintenance, but they actually do, so they probably fix this up. But Ripsaw Falls is reopened, so if you want to get wet in the park that has the only water rides that is out of the two parks, you can now do it on Ripsaw Falls. Finally, a rotating display from the Holiday Tribute Store was installed into the Christmas shop in Port of Entry. This is nothing crazy, however, things like this have been shown up in the ones in Universal Studios Florida, in the Christmas shop in what I believe is New York, and in the Christmas shop in Port of Entry. These have just been coming from the Holiday Tribute Store, and it makes a lot of sense because they wouldn't want to waste things like these when they have perfectly good Christmas shops to put them in. But all of that aside, that's it for this topic. So let's go ahead and get on to my next important one for my next topic. General news, where some confusing crowds have happened this week. Starting us off, Kang and Koda's Twirl and Hurl was open on Thursday. Now, if you don't know, this ride or attraction is normally only opened on weekends, meaning that it being opening on Thursday is not normal. Now, this has happened every now and then also, so the Kang and Koda's being opening or closed really just depends, I guess. There's no real way to figure it out. Generally, it's only open on weekends. Sometimes it's opened on busy days, but what I've been able to figure out from the pattern is that they open it when a certain amount of people are in the park. Also, Horror Makeup Show is now seating every row. There isn't a ton to say about this. Last week, a ton of attractions started seating every row, and Horror Makeup Show is just following, so just keep this in mind if you're going to the parks. Also, walkways between the parks closed on Wednesday and Thursday. This is where the crowds get a bit confusing. Thursday, the parks were crowded enough to open Kang and Kodo's, however, they closed down the pathway between the two parks. Obviously, Universal can do however they wish or whatever they wish to do, but it just kind of makes it kind of like, what happens? It's a bit confusing, but it makes sense in a way. Next up, signs were placed directing guests to the bypass bridge on Saturday. This goes both directions, from being in the Lost Continent to also being in Jurassic Park. Now, even though these were directing towards, it was said that not that many people were actually on the bypass bridge. And, to be honest, I wouldn't complain about that because it just gives you better views of the VelociCoaster testing, which is basically just eye candy. As for some general news about the VelociCoaster, torches were lit at its entrance. This is something that's happened every now and then, and it's nothing new, which is why I've put it in general news, which you can see here. Also, for the VelociCoaster, it was spotted that the T-Rex on the sign flashes red. Though this is new, it's not exactly construction, hence why I didn't put it there. But the T-Rex flashes, which is pretty cool if you ask me. Also this week, characters were seen wearing Mardi Gras outfits. We can see SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward, Puss in Boots, and the Scooby-Doo gang with these on. For some characters, these are just beads, but for other characters, it's hats and full-on Mardi Gras apparel. Finally, at the Fear Factor Stadium U-Rest area, the cars for the show were put out. These aren't used for anything, but more just here for decoration, and there's some fun little details that Universal put out, which is cool to see. This show, really, we don't know if it's opening up again or not. It's rumored that it's going to be closing, However, it has certainly been closed for a while, and in fact over a year now. So it's probably not coming back, would be the safe thing to say, but yet again, I'm telling you the facts, not the rumors, and we don't know about this one. So let's not rant on about this and hop straight into my next topic. Food and restaurants, where I only have one topic that I'm kind of embarrassed because I don't know that much about. So this one topic is that Mythos added new entrees onto their menu. The thing I'm embarrassed about is that I actually don't know what they added. I know that they added things, I know that the menu is bigger than it was before, however, I have no clue what food they added. I've only eaten at Mythos once, and I didn't look into the menu too much, plus it was years ago. So I actually don't know what they added. I know I normally have all of the information for you, but I guess now you'll be able to see a wider variety of things if you've already eaten at Mythos, and if you haven't, they added some stuff. Sorry I can't tell you if they added what'll strike your fancy, but I can tell you Mythos has some pretty good food, so even if you don't see something you're super interested in, I would try it if I were you. But that's me, not you. You make your own decision. Okay, away from my uncertainty and rants about how I'm sorry for not knowing something about Universal, we can go ahead and jump straight into my next topic. Merchandise, where a good amount has actually happened this week. So, starting us off, the Beetlejuice preview merchandise is now gone. This was something that was sold for a week and actually sold out most items because of how popular it was, and now it's gone. However, obviously, as it is preview merchandise, you will be seeing it again for Halloween Horror Nights either 30 or 31, depending on how they end up naming this event. We're not sure yet. However, I think that this is going to be awesome if this merchandise is a way of looking at it. Also, a new Mardi Gras drawstring bag and a magnet have become available. This is just added onto the ton of Mardi Gras merchandise that is in the parks, and remember, you have until April 11th to pick this up because it will be the end of Mardi Gras by April 11th. However, Universal will probably keep it around for a bit, and if you're a UOAP, they will probably be selling it in the garage sale that they have twice a year, so just look out for that. It's going to be a bit till it happens, but it'll probably be there. Also, some sales happened. Merchandise in the Tribute store went on sale. Purple Mardi Gras t-shirts are now $13.99, and masks are buy one, get one free. For Universal, having a sale is kind of crazy. It's the same as stereotypical for Disney, which is that everything is expensive. That applies to Universal too, just a little bit less. It's still amazing to see sales like this happening, especially as it's still a bit till Mardi Gras ends. However, pick this up now. I would advise you to do it because stuff can get expensive. Also, another deal came out. It says that if you spend $250, you can get a free non-interactive wand. Now, this deal has had a ton of variants, coming from like $150 and then going up and up and up, and this has been happening for years, and they just keep changing around the amount, but this is here. And finally, for this topic, we're going to end it off with the online store. So, they added a Master Shifu, Tigress, and Poe Snuggles plushes, a How to Train Your Dragon Toothless plush, Trolls Branch Cutie plush, Trolls Poppy Cutie plush, and a Universal exclusive Fluffy Unicorn Funko Pop. So that's everything that I could find that was big in the parks. However, I also find small things, which is exactly what this topic is for. So let's go ahead and dive into those. Now, my one small thing is that some trash cans got new lids. I know that this is exponentially small in the parks. This is not going to affect anything for anyone's trip. However, I am your weekly Universal news and updates, and I need to update you on everything that's happened. So that's everything that I could find in Universal Studios Orlando this week. I hope that you enjoyed watching the video, and if you're this far into the video, congratulations, you've made it through a pretty long video. Now, this is uncut audio right now, but for me it seems like the video is 15 minutes long, and it's probably going to be that long for you too, so good job for being here. However, I am ranting on way too much about you being at the end of the video, so congratulations, but I'm going to have to end this here and tell you that this is Winu, signing off.